Hey, everybody, Chance Paladin here, and, or Star Wars Paladin, whatever, and I haven't done one of these in a little while, and wanted to, talk about Star Wars, the Old Republic, a little bit, and, start with the most easy, basic, obvious stuff, which is July 1st through July 7th, double XP. And you can see on their main page, like, there's a Cathar and maybe some new Cathar skins or something. Not sure. I don't know. I think the Cathar look really weird right now. I wish they'd update them. And, but, it's for later. You notice, beat the heat with double XP week, da-da-da-da-da. And this is kind of weird because this is a huge looking announcement, but all it really is double XP. But they give it the fanfare, I guess, as if it was like a full gigantic release. But we'll scroll down. Last chance to move into Nar Shaddaa early. They're trying to get people to resub. Everybody I already know has already been subbed long enough to get at least what we believe is a current maxed out Nar Shaddaa Palace. So if you're not a subber, I don't know why not. But anyway, get double XP now and random pictures of the game. Picture of the Sky Palace. It's a pretty cool little picture, honestly, but don't know why it's there. And then obviously the same Galactic Strongholds info they've been talking about all this time. Although this page looks a little new, I'm not 100% sure. In a bid to power these heroes must join together to launch their own guild flagships and conquer planets. But, again, no idea what that means. Acquiring strongholds, but no idea how many they're going to be. We only know of 2, with a teased 3rd. It still says August 19th. There hasn't been any new information saying it's going to get delayed yet. Now it's saying that the Nar Shaddaa Sky Palace is, 4 mil plus another 1.5, so 5.5 mil. It's like we talked about before. Doesn't look like anything new. And then obviously the course on Skyrise that I showed on an earlier video. But none of that's why I'm making the video. I'm just trying to paint a little picture for you. Because here's the thing. As of right now, it's June 29th. All of this is supposed to come out in just a little under a month and a half. Okay? In fact, July 1st is day after tomorrow, and it's tomorrow in about 8 minutes, because it's 11:52 p.m. right now. Tomorrow is the 30th. It's the 30th in just a couple minutes. The day after that's the 1st. You're like, so what? Yes, you can do the calendar thing. Congratulations, whatever. Here's the thing, though. On July 1st, all game servers at swtor.com and the launcher will be unavailable while we perform scheduled maintenance. Game Update 2.8.1 will be implemented during this downtime. Details are as follows. Now, I had a feeling this was going to happen. What this essentially means is, if you read between the lines, unless they're lying again, is that double Galactic Starfighter's over, and double PvP is going to start. And then double PvP is going to go until whatever. I should have just put up a whole entire calendar, but here's the thing. So double week, double XP week is happening at exactly the same time as double PvP is starting. But PvP, double PvP is going to be happening presumably for about a month or so, since the difference between 2.8 and 2.8.1 was, I want to say, just slightly under a month. Maybe approximately a month. I don't know the exact date. But, so we'll get double PvP rewards for about a month. And then, whenever then until 2.9, and then the PvP season's over. So, whatever suit we get, in the next month is going to be whatever we have until the end of the season. And then usually there's a little period between seasons, and then you'd think the next season's going to start, right? But it's not, because that's going to be the end of the 2.x series for TOR. Before the end of the year, 3.0 is supposed to start. And everybody's been talking about that. What's going to be in 3.0? It's going to be a new planet. Is it going to have... is it going to have new story missions? Everyone hopes it does. Da-da-da-da-da. BioWare's been quoted multiple times saying that they've decided to go in a different direction, implying that there's not going to be player stories, and everybody's going to have to get PvP suits all over again. Everybody's going to have to get ops suits all over again, except there hasn't been a new operation in almost a year, because Oricon is like last October. I mean, think about that for a second. That means the only new things that have been around since then, Kuat, and then Tython and Korriban, which are supposed to get wrapped up soon. But here's the thing, we don't actually know, nobody knows outside of BioWare what's going to be in 2.8.1. 2.8 was an astronomical insult. It's been quoted, cited many, many, many times that 2.8 was supposed to be the biggest expansion of this entire year. 2.8 was beyond insulting. The cartel, the casino thing was offensive. And even as a credit sink, it didn't last very long. The gold farmers had recovered within 2 weeks. So whatever the hell it is they're doing that's creating so much money, which I have no idea, because I can't even generate more than a couple $100,000 credits a day right now with the way the economy's going. So whatever they're doing, ruining the economy. So suffice it to say, 2.8 was a joke. No idea what's going in 2.8.1, and the last biggest thing to come out, if you don't count the couple new tactical flashpoints, which by the way I love. A lot of people hate them. I love them. I think the tactical flashpoints are a blast. I wish they gave you more social points, but that's another topic for another day. Galactic Starfighter, and people say Galactic Starfighter initially launched in February. No, not really. It launched back in November, December. Don't tell me that it officially launched in February. That's just nitpicking. It had launched 2 or 3 months prior to that, because that's when I was playing it. That's when most, the core, the real core, was playing it. It's back last year. Nothing big has come out since then. This casino thing, again, that was a joke. There was supposed to be a second something, which they never told anybody what it was. Bigger than Galactic Starfighter coming out. And again, that's quoted all over. I don't have the energy. I just got done reading it all. Took me about 45 minutes to read it all. All the stuff that everybody had cited and quoted, and talking about the roadmap for 2014 and how most of the roadmap for 2014 just got thrown in the garbage can. There was supposed to be a fifth ship type for Galactic Starfighter, a completely not the communication ship, not the little slicer ship that I play, not the hybrid ships, but a completely new ship, and they never said what it was, but a legitimately new one, and it was supposed to come out in 2.8, and that completely got shelved indeterminately. So it's nothing Galactic Starfighter related. They said, and I showed this in my last one of these that I did, that Galactic Starfighter's essentially done for. They like where it's at. They have no plans on balancing it. They have no plans on adding new ships. They have no plans on adding new areas. It's just they're not going to do any PvE stuff. It's just, it is what it is, and that's what it is, and that's where it's sitting. And you know, they've got basically 3 little platforms, and they just move the engines around, tweak the loadouts, and call it a new ship every patch. And that's offensive. They could just let the players do that, but they won't, because they want to hold all the cards. So whatever. Stop acting like that's something that it's not. Stop blaming gunships when it actually has nothing to do with gunships. It's an illusion. It's just functions getting swapped around on different ships. There's many ships with a railgun. Don't blame gunships. It's the railgun, and you can get that railgun on multiple ships. So whatever. It's just ignorance. So all of this still isn't really what I'm going towards. However, making it a double XP week is a joke, considering 7 hours is almost a giant chunk of Tuesday, which means we're going to, have half a Tuesday for a double XP week. So don't call it double XP week, call it XP 6.5 days. And that's if the servers even come up on time. That's if we can even log in Tuesday after the servers come up, because 2.8 was a red royal disaster. I made a video that day, and the server was just up and down and crashing. Actually, it wasn't that long ago, 3 weeks? I don't know. Seems even shorter than about 3 weeks, I'd say. 2.8, and I told you guys this one back when I made the video, and I showed you guys the help support forms. 2.8 is the worst patch I've ever seen them roll out with, and they never really told anybody what happened. So if we have anything to look forward to, I guess it can't get much worse than 2.8's launch. So let's pretend it goes as bad as 2.8. We will, hopefully, most of us will be able to play 2.8.1 by Wednesday, which leaves us less than 6 days of double XP. Okay. And then whatever the new content is, hopefully we can all just ignore the new content, level up our characters, and deal with the new content after we've leveled up our characters. And then we have to go deal with the PvP double rewards so we can get some brutalizer suits and try to have a little bit of fun before that's over with. Because, we'll get our brutalizer suits for a little while, then the suits are going to be completely obsolete. So, again, that's why you gotta get over PvP progression and just play PvP for what it is, which is a little bit of fun until, we have to throw our suits out and start all over again, since they won't make a truly progressive system, like I said, PvP Legacy XP. But again, all this is not where I'm going with the conversation. You're like, well, where the hell is he going with this? Alright, I know, 15 minutes and I'm finally getting to the point. That's just the way it is with me. There is a monster 22-page post on TOR's forums down here called devs need to be aware of this Reddit thread. No, they don't. Nobody gives a flying shit about Reddit except for people on Reddit. But they bring up a lot of good points. I won't go through it. It took me a long time. But suffice it to say, I'll paraphrase, and this is 22 pages long. I'll show you. 22 pages. Lots and lots and lots and lots of bitching. I'll spare you guys. They got a couple of things right, and they got a whole shit ton of things wrong, just like most people do. Talking about how the astronomical lack of content and the astronomical lack of communication. The problem is they've all got completely different ideas of how to fix the game, and that's the problem with the community, is they're completely unorganized. And they're all in complete and total disagreement, and that's why nobody ever gets what they want. And so I've been talking about this ever since before TOR even launched. And some of the stuff's been implemented and some of it hasn't. So we're going to go over that. This is only a short list. I could probably talk about this for 8 hours. And half of that would just be defect fixes. So anyway. Alright, so I'm going to go over this really quick. This was my response to everybody's bitching and whining, and some of them had good points, and some of them had very sad stories. And this is my response, which is completely unwanted. I already know that. But I'm sick and tired of everybody else getting their freaking soapbox and acting like their opinion's the only valid one when I've come up with a lot of these ideas a long time ago, and yeah, I was worried about that. Some ads started playing in the background because of some stuff I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. So this is my response to everyone's forum post. I'm going to read some of it, paraphrase on some of it, and expand on some of it. This is by no means a complete list. I've been compiling this for a very long time. So I said I've been planning my guild ship since beta and saving since day one of retail. The reason why I said that is because people said only 1% of the population, that 1% number loves to get thrown around. Since they said hardcore ops is only 1%, and people that do flashpoints are only 1%, and PvPers are only 1%, and none of them represent the core, and so the people that want galactic strongholds and guild ships are only 1%, and I was like, that's bullshit. So, anyway, I said the guild and I are very excited. I'm excited for galactic strongholds, also, but I'm getting them based on RP and not sure what to do with them yet. Depends on how many they release. And again, I said that because BioWare is not even telling us how many they've got planned. They're not telling us anything. However, within the next week or so, there is supposed to be a significant amount of information getting released. I think that's all going to start on actually tomorrow, Monday, which is right now. With today, I mean, but later today because it's frickin' midnight. And then obviously on Tuesday, 2.8.1, blah blah blah. In the next couple weeks, more information. So, I've been saying this in the past. I hope Co-op ties in the guild ship somehow. I hope they post the requirements soon. I'm hoping that comes in the next few days. I was talking to Kiri about it, and we don't even know like how many guild members we need. We still don't know how much money we need. We still don't know if we need materials, like scavenged compounds or KDYs or reps, comms. Like, we don't know anything. And it's supposed to be coming out in a month and a half. I want to make sure we can get it on day one, which means I want to freaking get everything now. But we have no idea, so I've just been guessing, hoarding and accumulating random stuff, hoping that it's going to tie in. I don't know. I hope they finish the Tython Core Band Invasion story soon. They're supposed to do that. That was really neat. I don't know if that's finishing up in 2.8.1, or if that's months from now or a year from now, the way their track record is. They could decide to scrap it entirely, just like they've tried to scrap so many different things. I want to say our server, Background Quality, is still enjoying all the various ops, hard modes, tacticals, and regulars whenever possible. And I want to include ranked on there too. We still rank PvP almost every single night. The problem's not getting people together. The problem is getting Group Finder to work. I can't tell you how many nights we've had groups. It happens at least twice a week. And it would probably happen more if we could narrow it down to where we have more than enough people queued, guaranteed, verified 100%. I have them on chat, and the damn thing will not queue us. And these things are not our fault. And the same thing with the new story mode op group finder. There's Twitter where they were like, on such and such server, we're going to get people together and we're going to get story mode ops going. And I messaged him on Twitter, and in a nice way, I basically said, bullcrap. Why would you rub that in our face when our story mode ops doesn't work? It hasn't worked since they released it. And they patch it and patch it and patch it. It doesn't work. We're enjoying it as best as we can, but we got to put a lot of our own groups together. The tacticals and hard modes work, and the regulars work, but story mode ops does not, and ranked does not. Some nights we can't even get Galactic Starfighter to pop. Just the other day we had more than enough people. Everybody was in, C-Join GSF talking on GSF chat. More than enough people. Wouldn't queue. And don't tell me, well, it's because of groups. It's because this. No bullshit. Almost everybody was solo queued. It wasn't popping. So, anyway, that would go on a defects list, which I'm not even going to make a video on every defect. I tried twice, and it ends up being hours. Hours of defects. So, just forget that. But anyway, when we can, we do our best to enjoy it. And I want to say PvP and PvP and Arena. I want to say the casino odds on the Rancor were shocking. Nobody I know will be participating in another Casino Stello, and I won't. I don't give a shit what they put on there. I will find some other way of getting it. That was, let's call that what that was, highway robbery. The odds, just the sheer odds on getting the Rancor were beyond offensive. Between, not counting Brute, between me, Bob, Zato, and Kirahi, we must have spent over 5 or 6 mil between us. Bob ended up with 2 Rancors by sheer luck. I probably, maybe, possibly could have ended up with a second one, because Viper had some coins. I don't think Zato got his, and I don't think Kirahi got his. And those odds are terrible. Zato and Kirahi both spent over $1 million. Bob and I both spent somewhere between $1.5 and $2 million apiece when all was said and done. That's horrible. I ended up with like something like 65 plus golden tickets, most of which are useless because there isn't even enough stuff to spend that much on. Bob ended up with around 100. I can't remember how many Zato had. Kirahi, I think, was headed towards 100 when he just gave up. I think he just gave up because you'll never be able to play the rest of the game. You're sitting there literally deleting money for nothing in return. And if their intent was to drive up gold prices or credit prices, they did that, but it didn't even last 2 weeks. Again, I think I said this earlier. I can't even remember now because, anyway. All they did was people that had money to spend on just buying credits with money did just fine, and they're not really out any money because they had money to begin with, and they're not out any credits because they just bought the credits. The rest of us are out a lot of credits on good faith that we were going to have a fair chance to get a Rancor. And again, that's assuming a lot because, yes, casino's rigged, blah, blah, blah. I can hear all the excuses right now. Oh, the casino, shut up. Don't give me that shit. Don't freaking give me that. They could have made the casino fair. They could have just said, Rancors cost 50 golden tickets. Problem solved. It would have been fair. It wasn't fair. Getting to the 100 ticket is on the far end of the spectrum, I think. But 100 tickets, that's somewhere around 1.5 to 2 mil. And seriously, if we had known that, we could have saved our money and just bought one off the GTN and saved. I spent somewhere between 8 and 10 hours. Bob spent significantly more than that. I don't want to speak for him. I couldn't get him back on. I think he went to bed. But yeah, I think he went to bed. But I know he spent a lot of time on this. Shoot. It was insulting. If we had known the odds, we would have never done it. And that didn't hurt. That didn't hurt anybody that didn't already have money. All that did was hurt people that barely had enough money, that were saving up for the Galactic Stronghold, or they were saving up, trying to help their guild, save for their guild ship, and they saw the Rancor, of course wanted to go for the Rancor, duh. It's obvious that everybody's going to want to go for it. And they did. And by the time they realized that the odds were as horrible as they were already so far in that they would have lost more by giving up. We all came to the same conclusion without telling each other that. So, anyway, the casino thing. I think I mentioned it already. It's obvious the level cap's coming. That's another one of the million lies they've told us. We thought we would get more time with our PvP suits. Obviously, they've screwed everybody. Instead of giving us the XP or the PvP reward bonus on 2.8 like they said, they pushed it to 2.8.1. I have no idea why. I guess they thought, oh, people will want to play. We don't want to take people away from GSF. Here's the thing, and if you guys would bother to pay attention, you would know that the people that play GSF don't PvP, and the people that PvP don't play GSF, because the people that PvP are too much of effing pussies to get onto GSF, and the people that play GSF are sick and tired of the PvP community. There's almost no overlap. The PvP people that try to come to GSF get destroyed. They get stomped. And the people that play GSF that try to come to PvP get sick of their attitude. So, you could have had both on top of each other and it wouldn't have mattered. It's just sheer ignorance of whoever came up with that. It's wasted everybody's time. So, oh, well, it gives you more time. No, it doesn't. Just put both for the same amount of time and let us manage our time. Just like with the Rancor casino thing. Just make the Rancor 50 tickets and let us manage our time. Stop making it some big effing mystery when you're going to get the damn thing. That was... Oh, it's just, my friggin' head's hurting. It's just, come on. Anyway, the level cap, they screwed, they lied, they screwed us, they lied to us. I've been talking about that enough already. It's just one more thing. So, this is a beef, and again, going back to the casino thing, you go and look and see the new sniper rifle. It's a stupid Tommy gun with a longer barrel, which those never existed, and they look stupid, and they're like, well, we're giving the sniper people an opportunity to have the Tommy gun. No! I haven't seen a single sniper person with a sniper Tommy gun. They look friggin' stupid. If you wanted to do that, just make them the same damn barrel length. Or make the blaster ones an even shorter barrel length. You know, there's no rule that says the barrel sizes have to be super long. It's a freaking blaster bolt. They don't actually shoot any longer anyway. A stupid blaster pistol shoots the same distance as a blaster rifle, and don't give me that balance crap, and don't give me that's just an RPer problem bull crap. It's freaking stupid. It just removes all of the immersion right out. You completely forget that you're in a game and are remembered that you're in all these ridiculous rules that got pulled out of somebody's ass that have no basis in balance of the game anyway. They just decided these are going to be mirrors because we said so. It's just give it up. Anyway, you'll start to see that that's the reoccurring theme of what I'm trying to say here. So, it seems like BioWare doesn't know what to do. They don't have a clear direction. They don't have communication. They don't seem to know what people want. They think they know what's best for Galactic Starfighter, but I don't think they do. They think they know what's best for PvP, but they made another HUD ball. So, what should they do? Oh, I'm being really critical, but what should they do? Let me tell you. Okay? First of all, let people get rid of their damn companions. Who cares about the companion stories? Most of them suck. I'm sorry, but they're just half-assed. I would have rather had the companions not have stories than some of the stories that I've had to deal with. I'm looking at you, Gus, Tono, or whatever, and a couple of the other stupid companions. Skadge. Go to hell. Go to hell in Nar Shaddaa, and I never want to see you again. And they made them a mandatory part of the story. But they never had to join the crew. I think the only crews that you ever absolutely needed was the Sith Warrior and one other one, and for the life of me I can't remember what it was. But there was one quest where you actually legitimately needed a full crew. I can't remember if it was the Trooper. I want to say maybe it was the Trooper and the Sith Warrior, which both, by the way, have some pretty good companions, but the rest of them don't. I mean, there's so many bad companions, and this is from swtor Spy. Jorgen, and I'm not talking about all their movesets and stuff. That's another whole effed up kit and caboodle. Jorgen's cool. I can't stand Tano. And everyone has their own different opinions. And I'm just going to tell you mine. Feel free to tell me yours. I thought Tano was cool, but sometimes he also irritates the hell out of me. And it doesn't flesh his character out enough for you to really learn if he's really a good guy or if he's really a bad guy or if he's really some underworld guy or if he's really military. It never tells you. It doesn't leave it open to interpretation. It's just like it never finishes. M1, I love M1. A lot of people hate him. Alara, I hated Alara at first. Paris hates Alara with a vengeance. I really like Alara now. Yoon doesn't seem to fit. It's like he's a bug that can tell the future. What? And yet, besides your little mission with him, he has a couple little stories, and it's just not finished. It's not finished. I would rather leave Yoon on Nar Shaddaa and say, Yoon, go hang out and play on Nar Shaddaa. I'll come get you if I ever think I need to come get you again. I apologize for the Hearthstone. I'll leave that. Nope. I don't know how all this is going to turn out, but just deal with me. I don't have $150 to spend on the software to edit all this. So, Corso, a lot of people hated Corso. I did not like Corso at first, but they fixed this really effed up defect that he had, and I call him Chuck. And, you know, I think you should be able to have nicknames for your characters, but companions, hopefully that happens. I don't think it's ever going to. But Corso, I call him Chuck. Ended up being best friends. Bodar, I call him Crowbar. Didn't like him at first. He's very, very weak in the defense and hit point department for a melee tank, but I like him. Risha, I hated Risha at first. That's because they don't flesh her storyline out until way late in the game. I think she's awesome now. Akavi, I hated Akavi at first, but she really grew on me. It's because their story's fleshed out. And you'll see this reoccurring theme that the ones I hate the most are the ones where their stories got fleshed out the least. And I want to dump their ass on Nar Shaddaa. And if I ever feel like oh, we released more Gus story, I will decide if I want to do that or not. But I don't want to see him again. I don't want him on my ship. That's stupid that it forces that on you. Maybe killing him off is a little too crazy. But if you need quote-unquote 5 people to complete a mission, don't make the 5 number mandatory to play the game. But if you need to go do something that says required 5 companions, just let me choose 5 of my own, and that's where I'm going with this. But just let me finish this, it won't take long. T7, I think he's way too by the book. I think he needs to loosen up. I don't think that's funny or amusing. I think it's irritating as hell. Kira, I think Kira's awesome. Doc is just a chauvinistic bitch. I can't stand him. Rusk is awesome. Scourge, I hated him at first until I read Revan, and Scourge makes perfect sense, and now I think he's awesome. I have not played a consular, but from what I know, Kaizen's cool, but he can be irritating. I think they should have changed his voice around a little bit. Cedric, some people like him, hate him. I don't know anything about Zenith, Felix, or Nadia. Mako, they flesh out her story a lot, but it never fully made sense to me. Galt, you spend the entire thing he's one of these companions where you spend the entire thing wanting to kill him, and then he joins your team. And then you're like, how are you supposed to feel about that? Torian, they flesh Torian out, and then nothing ever happens. Blizz isn't fleshed out at all, but I love him. And Skadge literally talks all the time about how he's going to murder you. And he's just violently brutal. And I hate that. He would go on Nar Shaddaa. Vet, I love Vet. But she doesn't belong on my Sith Warrior. She's only on the Sith Warrior because of the Deceived book. You know, I'd love to go give her to one of my other people to hang on to. Jace is awesome. I love Jace. Quinn, Quinn infuriates me. You should be able to kill Quinn. And apparently you used to be able to kill him, and they took it out of the game because they're a bunch of pussies. Quinn's one of the characters you should be able to kill off if you want. Replace him with somebody else if you want the story to continue. If the story has to continue somehow, or if that ranged DPS healer has to provide some kind of function, but you should be able to kill him off. Pierce is awesome. Brune is awesome. Brune could have been fleshed out a little bit more, but I actually really like Brune Mark. Hate Chemval. His story is super convoluted, and it ties in with the Inquisitor way too much. Super convoluted. Andronicus has got a cool story, but he's really plain. Ashara is awesome. I love Ashara. Nothing about Talos is ringing a bell. I don't remember. I need to go through that again. Zalek's the same thing. I don't remember anything about him. I need to do that again on Pinkerton. Imperial Agent Kylio DeJanis is awesome, but the way it ends her story leaves more questions than answers. Vector's awesome. Loken's awesome too. I wish they would flesh him out more. Temple is kind of like, I don't have a problem with Temple, but it's weird. Temple joining it just comes out of absolute. I guess it was cool to get blindsided, but her story needs to get fleshed out more, a lot more. And Scorpio, I haven't quite gotten to Scorpio yet, but I think Scorpio is really cool. I like the concept of Scorpio. And then there's C2N2, which some of my characters would have him, some of him wouldn't. He doesn't belong on my smuggler's ship. I don't think that whole uppity, snobby droid thing is funny. Some people think it's funny. I don't. I think it should be an option. It shouldn't be mandatory. It should have never been mandatory. They were catering to the wrong people when they made him. They had to dial him back a lot. I think it should be an option. But given that, I think he should be a viable option. I think that you should be able to put a blaster in his hands. I think you should be able to upgrade him and make him a freaking war droid if you want. Same thing with 2V. I love 2V, but he's underpowered just like C2. And it's unfortunate. Extremist leveled up with 2V, but he was about 30% underpowered compared to Quinn. It was embarrassing. And HK is awesome. I love HK. Obviously Treek's not on here. Treek is awesome also. This list should be bigger, and all of these companions should be interchangeable. But they're not. And that's my issue with companions. I should be able to trade them, mix them, match them. They should. Some of them already know about each other. I think it's like Vet and Risha. I think they should all know about each other. If I want Bodar and Brunmark to be friends, so what? I should be. You should be able to do whatever you want, and yes, that includes all the same gender stuff. You should be able to marry whoever you want or whatever you want, as long as it's some kind of sentient, consensual thing. Just let it go. Just let people do whatever they want. Same thing with the legacy. Let people put in whatever legacy family tree they want within their own companions and their own NPCs and their own characters, so they don't have to involve other people. If they want to involve other people, make sure it's consensual and that there's an agreement thing so it doesn't get all creepy. There's quite a few creeps playing TOR right now, and you don't always know if it's consensual or not. And it just gets weird. So anyway, new companions, beast companions. It's so freaking obvious, and more droid companions on here too. Like, why do only Jedi Knights get T7s when in the video it showed Smuggler having a T7? My Jedi Knight doesn't want his T7. I should be able to give it to whoever I want. Maybe my trooper wants a T7. I don't know. I don't know who would want him. I shouldn't be able to generate new ones. Like HK, I think you should only be able to have one HK and one Treek. I think if you get a second HK, I think it should have to be a different HK, which is what I'm doing. And same thing with Treek. If you get a second Treek, it needs to be a different Treek, which is what I'm doing. I'm pretending that they're different. With beasts and stuff, you should be able to have your beasts, droids, as companions. I don't mean as a little non-combatant that follows you around. I mean as a real legitimate companion. You don't even freaking need dialogue. Make them hard. Make it hard to get one. Not HK hard, but maybe you should have to farm for it. Maybe you should have to camp for it. You know, hanging out in the desert and one spawned, and yeah, there could be spawn campers or whatever, but so that's not good. You know, make it so it's an instant, and you and your friends go in there. Make it take a couple people, and when everybody's done, they all get a new companion of their choosing or whatever. I don't know. You know, you should have to bond with it, bring it stuff, free it from a trap. I don't know. Here's some examples, courtesy of swtor Wikia. Here's the Manka cat. They're felines. I think they're really cool. The nerfs I really like. Oops, there we go. I really like the nerfs. They're kind of like cows, I think. That would be a really fun companion to have. And they'd be able to fight with you. So here are the Acklays. These were made popular from second Star Wars. I think having an Acklay around would be really, really awesome as a companion. And you shouldn't be able to have like 10 million of them. Maybe keep it to... Maybe each character only gets one animal companion. I don't know. But you should be able to have one. Yes, they can get big, but some of the ships, like I know the Bounty Hunter ship, is big enough for a huge animal. And while I'm at it, on my other list, just people should be able to have whatever ship they want. And the other one is tie space missions into GSF and let people use their space ships in GSF. You know, oh, it'll be unbalanced. Oh, give me a break. Get over it. Those are the Acklays. These are Kintans. Unfortunately, there's no pictures of the Kintans. Let me try to... But you can find a picture of them online easily enough. I just... every time I see Kintans, I think they're really super cool. And you should think about checking them out. Rancors, obviously everybody knows Rancors. People have some Rancors now. I don't like the way any of them... They look cool, but I don't 100% agree with their artwork. The wild ones look a lot better. And... yes... they'd be huge. I think there's a couple ways around that, though. Like I said, bounty hunter ships... big enough, so there's ways around it. Maybe if you had a galactic stronghold, maybe it could stay in your galactic stronghold if it was big enough, or if you had like a Hutt palace. Hutt palaces would be plenty big enough, and then you could take it out with you, you know, on missions and things. Ice trompers, I love these things. Obviously, these things are way too huge, but maybe a smaller ice tromper. It kind of reminds me of Icy Ultralisk from StarCraft. Wampas, these are my personal favorite. Viper would have a Wampa, hands down. Oops. I really love them. I don't understand why this hasn't already happened. And again, that goes to the point that I'm trying to make here. Gundarks. Gundarks are super cool. just like the Quintans I was talking about earlier. Really like these guys. Highly underrated. They just are really awesome. Nexu, these are one of my personal favorites. Again, these guys were made popular in Star Wars Episode 2. These could fit in any ship, no problem. I know a lot of people would be climbing over each other to get a Nexu companion. Banthas, of course, there's a Bantha mount now. It's very, very, very popular. I know some people, myself included, would love to have a Bantha companion. I'm not sure which one of my characters would have it, but Banthas are very, very cool. And they were very nice, loving critters, and we would love to have them as companions. Reeks, these guys are also made popular by Star Wars Episode 2. And I know a lot of these were in SWG also. I didn't play SWG, I'm sorry. But I don't know how many of these were available in SWG. But you get the idea. I think Reeks are really cool. You see Anakin tame one, and that's all I'm asking for. Either tame one if you're a Jedi or Sith, or be able to win it over if you're any of the other classes. Mavors, I can't believe there's not a picture of a Mavor here. They look amazing. I highly recommend going and look those up. They're on Voss. They look like a Zergling from StarCraft. So, I'll leave a little bit to the imagination here, but go check it out if you don't know what they look like or if you haven't been to Voss. A lot of the creatures on Voss look amazing. The Kill Dragons, there's no pictures of those either, unfortunately, but the Kill Dragons look really, really awesome. There's some Kill Drakes right now. Just imagine those, but bigger. I could imagine like a bounty hunter having a Kill Dragon. Yeah. So moving on. This one should be really easy. I don't know why they didn't do this in the first place. I've heard a lot of people ask for it. Just make holocrons legacy wide. I'm going to collect holocrons on Nacho right now that Lancer collected 2 years ago, and I never did it on every character because it's not that it drives me nuts, it's that it takes a lot of time. And you on every single character you make, you shouldn't have to go get every single holocron every time. It's fun to do a couple of them. Some of them I legitimately enjoy. Most of them I don't. There's one on Hoth that takes a good 45 minutes to get if you don't F up, or if you don't client crash and get locked out of the game while doing it, which, yes, true story. The Jawa balloon one, and there's one on Makeb also that I hear takes forever. Just make them legacy wide. Yes, it's a huge achievement to get them, but don't make everybody do it more than once. Next, let people use whatever weapon type they want. I was playing Nacho Siege, who cannot use blaster pistols, and in the damn cutscene he pulls out his blaster pistol. And it's ridiculous. Just let him use a blaster pistol. Who cares? It's nobody's business what freaking gun he uses. I actually want him, honestly, to be able to use a cannon, but he can't. Because the other troopers can use cannons. Meh. But instead, he's got a blaster rifle that I love, with the barrel way too long. It makes it look like a damn sniper rifle. And there's plenty of sniper rifles that are as short as a blaster pistol, almost. An extremely small blaster rifle, almost looking like a shotgun. Why don't you just let people use shotguns for that matter? Smugglers run around and use shotguns. It's not a big deal. Just let everybody use them. For everything. Who cares? Oh, well, backblast. That's just a move. It has nothing to do with a shotgun. Oh, my gosh. Just let people use whatever weapon they want. Lancer wants to use a shotgun for everything, but he's never going to be able to. pistols are like your sidearm. You don't use a pistol as your main weapon. Everybody would walk around with at least a blaster rifle if they could. So, just let it go. Next thing, and these are in no particular order. I tried to organize them, but I just whipped all this out pretty fast. Take Galactic Starfighter and let people buy whatever stock fighter they want. I've been talking about this for a while. It's a no-brainer. Just let people strip everything off the ship and build the ship however they want, just using the base stats. So if they want a bomber with all strike fighter stuff, just let them do it. It'll still be as slow as a bomber because it'll have all the bomber's base stats, but just let them put all the strike fighter stuff on it. And if people want a strike fighter with all gunship stuff, so what? Just let them do it. There will be a strike fighter with all gunship stuff that can get destroyed in like one hit. Let them do it. Just the community will figure out the balance stuff later after a bunch of people that can't think for themselves bitch, piss, and whine because they don't want to adapt. The rest of us will figure it out, and we will design the best ships for us. Okay, take out power overcharge and let us figure out the rest. You know, if we want a strike fighter that can repair or replace missiles, so what? So what that we can replace our own missiles? It's taking away something else. You're only going to be able to do a couple things. So what if you want a scout that can place hyperspace beacons? Big freaking deal. Just let people do whatever they want. We'll figure it out later. Here's a big one, but I think it's super important. There should be like a little weapon workshop where we can just build our own blaster pistols, rifles, sniper rifles. I already know the components are all in the game because I've been able to decipher, which doesn't take, it's not that hard. Decipher how the art team is putting together the blaster pistols and rifles, because they take the exact same model, recolor it, add two things, re-release it in a new pack over and over and over and over. Just stop. Just stop it. Release those things individually and let us put the damn thing together. In the next pack, instead of having to do a whole new damn gun, just say, hey, we put together a new barrel. Here's the new barrel. We put together a new scope. Here's the new scope. We put together a new grip. We put together a new buttstock. The buttstock's higher on this one. The buttstock's lower. Blah, blah, blah. This, you know, you can put this scope and this you know, this thermal lance, or maybe thermal lances aren't from Star Wars. I don't know. Put a little vibro knife bayonet under there. Just let people do whatever they want. Who cares? No two freaking rifles should look the same. No two pistols should look the same. And there's really only like 5 or 6 base sniper rifles. There's only maybe 10 base blaster rifles. And most of the blaster pistols, so I said rifles and sniper rifles, I'm talking about pistols now. Most of them don't even have, most of the existing artwork for pistols don't have custom variants. I don't know why that is. There are tons and tons of awesome blaster pistols that don't have custom mods. Just let us put, if you're not going to do this, just let us make anything into a custom. So I can go back, dig out my old pistol that I love before McKeb even came out. Is this rusty red pistol, but it wasn't custom, so you know I couldn't keep using it. And there was a non-rusty red version, but I don't like the way it looks. And there was a rusty red custom version, but it was only an offhand. Give me a freaking break. Anyway, Just let people mod their own pistols and rifles and deck them out however they want. People would love that. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Let people do what they want. And I know this is getting a little long. I promise I'm wrapping it up. I've been talking about this one for a long time. Focus on the Jedi, Sith stances and forms, hilts and grips. If you look at Jedi is a martial art. It's a lot of different martial arts. It's not sword fighting. It's something... Lightsaber fighting is something more advanced than sword fighting. It's everything that sword fighting is and much, much more, because they can virtually see into the future, and it's more like a chess game than it is sword fighting. So it requires lots of hilts. It requires them holding the hilt in different ways to expand the amount of possibilities they can do. So it's harder and harder to see what moves they're going to do. And just let people choose whatever one they want. Yes, you have to be in a certain form to tank. That's fine. Sort of, not really though. There's a tanking form, but there's also forms for dodging, forms for evading, forms for reflecting, several different damage forms. There's supposed to be a minimum of 7, but there are variants of those 7 depending on what hilt you're using and what grips you're using. Just put them all in and let people choose whatever one they want and stop dicking around. Put a couple, say these are the tank ones, these are all the DPS ones, but these are the bonuses and these are the negatives and positives. And just let people figure it out. So furthermore, I've been talking about this. Get rid of the 2-class system altogether. No more stupid Jedi Consulars and Jedi Knights and Jedi Vanguards and Jedi Sentinels. Get away with all of it. Do away with all of it. You're a Jedi. And let people be whatever kind of Jedi they want. Stop coming up with all these... There's no such thing as consulars. Just get over it. Qui-Gon wasn't a consular, and the Emperor was not a Sith sorcerer, and whatever. So, what would you call Dooku? Just get over the whole damn thing. Forget it exists. Don't even apologize. Just forget it. Let people be a Jedi. I'm a Jedi. What kind of Jedi are you? I'm Carnage. I'm Carnage Spec. Okay. So you can still go with advanced classes and lock people in, but don't act like that's a class anymore. No 2 Sentinels should ever be the same. No 2 Marauders should ever be the same, even remotely. Not even remotely the same. Besides the fact that they use a lightsaber or 2. And that's it. Everything from that point on should be unique. And naming them and classifying them only limits their potential. Just like I was talking about with blaster pistols and rifles and stuff. A Jedi or Sith, the possibilities and combinations should be absolutely limitless. There should be something like 40 combinations minimum of a Jedi or Sith, and instead there's what? They each share one of the advanced classes. So 2, 4, 6, 8. 9, 10, because they each share one. There's like 10 varieties. Because each side of... Let's just use the Jedi. They both have 2 advanced classes and 1 shared, so that's 5. And then there's the Consular and the Knight, so that's 10. There should be like 40 minimum, maybe 60. If you want to have a Jedi that does nothing but dodge, like almost 100% pure dodge, but maybe they don't damage that much. Go for it. Who cares? If you're not viable, that's your problem. That's not anybody else's problem. It doesn't have to be a viable class. It just has to be fun. You know, if you want a pure reflect class, a pure reflect Jedi, and I know they all have official names. I don't want to dig it up right now. Let people do it. If you want to have a pure blocking, which would be one of the tanking trees, do it. You know, a dodge Jedi and a block Jedi would be tank, you know. A reflect and a lot of the offensive would be, you know, damage dealers. And then if you decide you don't want to hit as much as you want to cast, let people decide all of that themselves without throwing some name on it. Just let it go. This is not about TOR. This is about Star Wars. And people keep forgetting that. And that's why Clone Wars should have never shut down, the MMO. The Clone Wars MMO was not about Clone Wars. The Clone Wars MMO was about Star Wars. It was about something that we loved. And we were never asked if we wanted it to get shut off. And nobody ever asked us if we wanted SWG to get shut off. I never got to play it. But if someone would ask me, I would have said, of course don't shut it off. That's stupid. Why would you do that? People still love that game. Hire a skeleton team, make sure it has enough money, make sure it's bringing in enough money, and just slowly try to tweak it. And do a Kickstarter campaign and let people vote on whatever it is they want for the next expansion. So I'll round out a lot of the Jedi talk by saying, if you just get too much dark side, it just spit you to the other side, and you get knocked out and wake up in Korriban. If light side, the Jedi come save you and bring you over. And talk about later how there needs to be other faction options. Give people whatever ship they want. I think it's absolutely stupid that my Jedi are driving around on that Defender, which is awful. I would rather them fly around on anything other than that one. They could all just fly a Lancer's XS around. They could all just pile in his ship. We could just share a ship. That Defender looks almost like a battleship. I would put one of my troopers in there, like Nacho. Like Nacho could fly the Defender around, and Viper could fly around it's like a troop transport almost. That would be in fact awesome. And Nacho would only have a couple of crew members because he wouldn't have a full Havoc Squad crew unless he absolutely had to. Anyway, I've got all these stories written, and I'm sure everybody could come up with them. And this isn't just RP stuff. It's not about RP. It's about Star Wars. Let people do whatever they want. Let them have whatever ship they want. Let them be able to design the insides of the ship however they want. Tie space missions into Galactic Starfighter and let people use spaceships in Galactic Starfighter. There's no reason why this can't happen besides wah balance. Wah. No, just balance it however you want. Say a spaceship uses 2 Galactic Starfighter slots, and then make one person control the turret and the other person fly it around. Big freaking deal. It's not that big of a deal. People just don't want change. This is one I've been talking about a lot lately. Give Imperials troopers, give Republic SIS agents, give troopers a sniper advanced class, give Imperial smugglers, give Republic bounty hunters. It's not a big deal, just let people do it. Who gives a crap about mirror classes? Get over it. Add another advanced class. From now on you can do this. Let people do whatever they want. New races, don't tell me it was that hard to make a new race. The Cathar, they barely look different. They added a couple of faces and just copy and pasted the rest. The faces aren't even that different. They just changed the hair a little bit and a couple of... It's irritating. I don't know why Togruta never made it into the game. A lot of people wanted this. Do they not want money? Charge $10 for Togruta. You make thousands and thousands of dollars. And the more players you get coming into TOR, the more Togruta you're going to sell, and the more money you're going to make. It's like a little mini expansion within itself. It'll keep paying for itself forever. New hair colors, models, etc. They started doing this and then promptly stopped, and they did it half-assed at that. I don't know why. Add a couple of new hair colors every month until they have every color. Same thing with the dyes. I don't know why all the colored dyes aren't done. I want a dark or deep blue main and a light blue secondary, and they don't exist. There's light blue, dark blue, or deep blue, but there's no light blue, dark blue primary, and deep blue or light blue secondary. I don't know why. That's stupid. Just finish it. And then there's another one, which is go back and touch up all the old armors. All the dyes look terrible. It's on custom armor. I don't understand why dyes look horrible or almost non-existent on the old armor. I do know why. It's because they never went back and fixed it, but what I don't know is why they never went back and fixed it. Give smugglers things to smuggle and let people become smugglers just because they're not the stupid smuggler class. A smuggler's not a class. A smuggler, smuggling things is a job. It's so stupid. Just like a mercenary. A mercenary is not a class. A mercenary is a job. A bounty hunter is not a class. A bounty hunter is a job. Okay? Some of that stuff can be fixed with simply renaming it. But if you want to just let people do whatever they want. Okay? Let them do whatever they want, but give them things to do. Give them jobs to do. There's no jobs to do in TOR. Don't you realize that? Doesn't anyone realize that except for Bounty Week? That's only like once a month. Unless you think your job is Galactic Starfighter, which you can do, but you know, it's not all your characters. Your job's PvP. There needs to be a ton of them. Jobs. And yes, I know the game's not supposed to feel like work, but your characters should have a job to go do. I mean, don't you realize that how did Jedi get paid? Hasn't anyone ever thought of that before? I mean, it's one of the biggest effing plot holes of Star Wars. You know, once Luke leaves Tatooine, you know, his parents were just giving him money because they sold whatever the hell it was they sold on their moisture farms. How did he get money after that? How did he pay Han Solo? Kenobi had a little bit of money. How did he pay with things after that? Was Leia fronting him money after they saved her? Or was Han Solo paying for everything? Han Solo had a job. Luke did not. Leia didn't have a job either. She had shit tons of money because she was a princess because Bail Organa was rich. And the Resistance was just getting money from Bail and all them. None of them had jobs. They were just getting enough to scrape by and pay for the things that they needed. And they were getting all their supplies for free from the rebellion. This game needs jobs. Okay, the trooper could get money, yes, from being a trooper. But not really, because you don't get to go do trooper things. Once you're done with the story, you don't do trooper things anymore. Don't tell me the quests or jobs. It's all just a treadmill. Anyway, I'm sick of Republic and Imperials. For some of my characters, they just need to release Hutt and Mandalorian factions so we can leave the Imperials and Republic forever on some of our characters if we want. Let subscribers get a free companion skin of their choosing per month out of all skins available. I think it's absolutely stupid that there's all these hidden skins throughout the game that we gotta work our asses off to get. Some of them we don't even know exist. Some of them exist, but we can't get anymore. Just one a month. That's not too much to ask. There's still plenty. I mean, we're just bombarded with skins. It takes weeks, if not months, depending on when the events come out and how often they come out. I only just figured out yesterday how to finish Bounty Brokers Association. I had no idea how to do it. I knew how to do the bounties, but I didn't actually know the method and the mindset behind maxing it out. And I found out that I just missed Bounty Week again, so I've got to wait until the next one. I would do it anyway for some of the other things, but I think skins, if you told subscribers that they get one free skin of any skin that they could possibly want per month, I think that would be huge. It seems like a small thing, but I think it's a big thing. And yeah, sure, it means that somebody could effectively nullify some tremendous astronomical grind. But if they're a subscriber, don't worry about them grinding something. If they're going to grind something, they're going to grind it for multiple stuff, not for the one skin. And if they're doing that, that means you're not putting enough good stuff up on their ref vendor. Cough, cough, frickin' casino thing. Most people don't want the stuff that was on that casino vendor. And look how many people did macro binoculars. Look how many people did the Secret Droid stuff. I did that stuff, and I'm working on it, and I still do it, but most people didn't. You can have as many nice things as you want on a vendor, and it doesn't matter. There needs to be something more than that. And in the meantime, companion skins would be a really big deal. And it's not just the RP servers, it's all the servers. If you care, if you would rather have people sub than people buy stuff from the cartel market, you would just give them access to all the skins. And let them buy the skins or just give them a skin a month. Or just how about as a subscriber, there's an all skin vendor, and you can use some of your cartel coins for that or something. Anything. Double cartel coins to subs, or half the cost to everything, or give them a free content pack. This goes hand in hand. I'm surprised they don't do this anyway, because a lot of people won't buy packs because they've bought a pack and get garbage most of the time. Because you don't tell them that you got to buy 24 packs or 50 packs, which is, $75 to $100 worth of packs to get the one thing that they want. They want to get lucky, but they're tired of spending money to try to get lucky. Just give them one every month and say, here you go. As a subscriber, here's one of the current packs. Open it up. This one's on us. No sweat. If you don't get anything, if you do get something, congratulations. But this one's on us. Thank you. We're not asking for anything in return. Thank you for being a subscriber. Hopefully you get something. It's just good customer service. XP and Galactic Starfighter, PvP XP, Galactic Star XP need to be quadrupled. It's way too low. The rewards can stay the same, but the XP needs to be quadrupled. Oh, I take that back though. Galactic Starfighter, it starts out, everything only costs like 1,000. It starts out good, but by the time, like I was talking to Estinio and Bob about how I'm at the point to where I have a 10,000 and 3 15,000s on my Celestial ship. You know how freaking long that's going to take? And the thing is, I have like 250,000 points between the rest of my ships. I could deck out that ship like that, except it would cost me like $40 in cartel coins to move points that I already have to another ship that I already have. And once you've maxed out a ship, they get even more points, but it doesn't matter because it still costs money to move your points around. So the obvious solution to that is just give people more points and XP, and if they level up faster, so what? If they level up their ship faster, so what? If they grind through it faster, that just gives them the opportunity to enjoy what they want faster. If they get some kind of awkward pleasure off purely grinding and don't care about the finished product, no amount of grinding is going to solve that. You're only delaying the inevitable. You might as well get to the end faster and let people figure out what they want to do. It's just irritating. It's freaking stupid. You're only punishing the people who already know what they want to enjoy. And you're putting an artificial barrier there. By the time they get to where they want to be, they're tired of it. Same thing with PvP. Get rid of the gear grind. I've talked about this before, and everybody got flaming pissed off at me. Just have PvP Legacy XP, bolster expertise, so you don't have to worry about expertise anymore. You don't have to worry about 2 suits. And then you could PvP whether you're level 10 or level 55, and it wouldn't matter. Very unpopular, but I really don't care. I don't care if things are unpopular. This would work. I know for a fact this would work. They just don't want to do it. Nobody wants change. This would get rid of PvP gear overnight. If people want to make gear that looks PvP looking, that's fine. They can still do that. Release it in the cartel packs. This gets rid of all those obnoxious second set of mods that they have to create. They would never have... How much time would that save them not having to create a second set of mods anymore? Every single time the PvP rolled over into a new season, they wouldn't have to do it anymore. You know, that gets rid of 2, 4, 6, 8 vendors on both sides, 10 if you count the extra 10, 11. You don't have to have any of those vendors anymore. Just have one legacy vendor, PvP legacy vendor, and you'd have legacy PvP trees, and people could PvP however they wanted. They could hop on any character and instantly be fine. Just spec that character with their PvP legacy XP, and away they'd go. Kind of back to GSF, Galactic Starfighter a little bit. There's no reason the Galactic Starfighter engine can't be modified to have PvE content, but they refuse to do it. They say it's not in the plans. Why not? People want it. You're not going to make something that people want. People are willing to pay for something, and you're not going to make it. It seems like they're doing it out of spite. As long as it takes them to make anything else, they could make this, but they're choosing to make other things that we don't know about, and they're consciously saying deliberately, specifically, that they're not going to do this. Make it to where you got to go fly out and take over a space station. You got to kill all the turrets and dock, and you win, or something. It's not that big of a deal. They can expand it from there. It's such a huge potential just thrown away. And going to some of the MOBA discussions that I do, I don't understand why the ships don't just rotate. So every week, you want to bring people into GSF over and over again every week, just have the damn ships rotate. Oh, look, this week the bomber's available. Everybody freaks out and runs in so they can play the bomber that they don't want to pay for. Next week it's the gunship, and everyone runs out and gets the gunship. Yeah, I know I said there's some other ways to fix this, but in the meantime, this is what I would do. You would have a lot less people bitching about the gunship, completely irrational, uneducated, stupid bitching about the gunship, If say, well, you could have played the gunship last week and you didn't want to. Well, I didn't want to because it was broken. Well, that's your freaking problem. If you think it's imbalanced and you think, oh, 4 gunships are unbeatable, well, how are you going to feel when it's an 8 versus 8 gunship versus gunship because it's time for gunship rotation? But think about that for the rest of us. How awesome would it be to try to go up against 8 gunships? It may be really annoying. It may be hilarious. I don't know. It doesn't matter because we're never going to be able to experience it. I bitch about this all the time. Most people swear up and down they don't even know what I'm talking about. The net code needs to be completely redone for PvP. I shouldn't mash a button 3 times and my spell may or may not go off. I was playing Pinkerton tonight, and sometimes he would stick his fingers out and no lightning would come. Sometimes it was happening twice in a row. He'd put his hands back out, and like no lightning. And I wasn't stunned. I wasn't interrupted. There's no such, I wasn't silenced. The guy was standing there. Like, no, he wasn't casting it. That, if you want to have a serious PvP game, you want to be taken seriously by everybody, you've got to fix things like that. The lag hacks for PvP and Galactic Starfighter are completely out of control. The most notable for that is people running the HUD ball around and winning HUD balls in 15 seconds, 30 seconds, because the lag, the speed hacks, the lag hacks in Galactic Starfighter where people are hopping around like little freaking tadpoles. That's ridiculous. The server needs to take control of that and output what people need to see, not what the clients are telling the server to. Server needs to be in control. PvP needs real maps. I have a lot of different ideas for this, but the most obvious one is World of Warcraft's Alterac Valley. That used to be able to go for 8+ hours, one match for 8+ hours. People would say, oh, that's too long. So they trimmed it down. But let people hop in and hop out of one great big, make it look like open world PvP. But there be objectives, and not just one objective, but multiple objectives. That way everybody could do the different objective that they want. If people want to go do a collection quest in the war zone, let them do it. If they want to do a kill quest in the war zone, let them do it. And then it can shut down and then restart. And just keep it going. Have some bosses and have people protect their boss and try to attack the other people's boss. Voidstar would be perfect for this. And I wrote up a thing and I got pretty decent support and then just fizzled out. Something like Alterac Valley would be huge for TOR. So to wrap it up, BioWare is playing it way too safe. I know everyone is hoping for a new planet for 3.0. I don't think one big planet's enough. We blew through McKeb in a week. No, not right now. Not right now. Oh my gosh, my cat is... Okay, fine. She laid down. A new planet is neat, but if it doesn't progress our stories and our companion stories, all it is a new planet. It's just another zone. It might as well be another daily area, another story that everyone is sharing exactly the same story. I know they don't want to make 8 unique stories and companion stories and stuff, but they need to, because that's the game that we started. And that's Star Wars. Star Wars is everybody having their own little story. That's what it is. It's not just one story that everybody's one overarching giant plot. That's important, but it's important for everybody to have their own little story too. Luke has a little story, and the galaxy has a big story. And BioWare needs to keep that in mind. It's very important to my Viper Trooper character what happened to Jaxo. Right? And I don't want to spoil it, but, Viper saves Jaxo. Jaxo's supposed to be Viper's romantic option. There was a Jedi girl that my smuggler really liked on Tatooine that he's probably never going to see again. And he ended up hooking up with a Kavi. And there was a smuggler girl that he really liked too, and she ended up cheating on him with another dude. And even though she said she wanted to stay with him, she ended up leaving for this guy a second time anyway. And those stories are really important. And they're interesting and fascinating, and they're what immerse you in this game. And all my characters have stories like that. But there's no way to keep those stories going without just writing them yourself, throwing them on a forum somewhere that nobody's going to read. And so you kind of just have them there for yourself. But you can't keep them going in this game because this game refuses to allow you to keep your story going. You can't customize your companions short of doing a different skin on them. And, we're not counting Jaisa on the Jedi Knight or the Sith Warrior side. Basically, the players need control of this game. The players need control of the content. The players need control of the gear. And let us make our Star Wars game. Okay? You want to put planets out there? That's great. That's fine. You want to put ops out there and flashpoints? That's fine. But that can't be the only thing that the game is about. And even these little events. I mentioned the Rakul invasion, but there's also the bounty thing and the casino thing, and there's that Nar Shaddaa thing that fizzled out that we never heard from again, and there's Gree, which hopefully will come back soon. Those are nice little stories for our characters, and they may define some small moments for our characters, but there's nowhere in the game to document that stuff. There's nowhere that, it used to say over and over again, TOR, write your own story, write your own this, write your own that. But we can't really. There literally is not a place for us to write our story. And that's what my forum's for. So I can write my stories down. But they need to have a way in Star Wars to literally be able to write your own story. Let us write our own story. If we don't have Risha on our ship anymore, let us just write why she's not on our ship anymore, and that goes in your records. She went back, spoiler alert, she went back to be a princess on her planet with Mr. Prince so-and-so, which is fine. I let her go. I don't mind. I'm not selfish. She didn't want to stay with me anyway. Akavi wanted to stay. Risha doesn't want to stay. Risha wanted to go be a freaking princess with Prince Charming. She was only using me as a means to an end. But there's no way to write that stuff down. It's in your head, but nobody cares. But they could come to your ship and go, where's your Risha? Oh, she left. Where's your Gus? I left him on Nar Shaddaa. Why do you have a T7 running around? I don't know. The T7's supposed to go on my trooper or something, and my trooper hasn't came and got him yet. I don't know. Or maybe Armitage wants T7. Maybe he's going to turn him into a slicer droid. Where's your C2N2? I let him go. He's bussing tables on Nar Shaddaa. Or he's at my galactic stronghold. I left him there. He's taking care of my galactic stronghold. Give this game to the players. That's the only way this game's going to survive. Otherwise, it's going to end up like Clone Wars, and it's going to end up like SWG. Those are the prior to Star Wars MMOs. There are people out there who think that 3.0 is going to be the last thing that Star Wars TOR ever releases. They let the last team go, and the new team is making Galactic Strongholds and the guild ship, and we're going to see what they can accomplish. And what we've seen so far is way below expectations, which is why they had to push it out. They realized they made something extremely subpar, and I don't know how they thought they were going to get away with that or trick anybody. Everything up until now, Oricon and all that, has been the last team's stuff, and I guess some of them are still working there, but some of them aren't. If this new team doesn't produce, that'll be it for TOR, because so many people have left. I don't even want to know what the numbers are, but if I had to guess, TOR subscriptions are somewhere around 5,000 players. Unless there's a lot of subbers that just aren't playing. And so it's all the free-to-players that are keeping the game afloat. And even with the free-to-players, I'd say still the active amount of players is maybe 5,000. Maybe it's closer to 10, because there's probably servers I don't know about. You know, maybe it's as high as 20 if you count all the people that leave their stuff on but aren't playing. There are people unsubbing every day. Just go look on the forums. Every day people are unsubbing. And they all say the same thing. The game is stagnated, it's stale, there's no new content. 2.8.1 is coming out in a little, maybe 28, 29, 30 hours from what I'm looking at the clock right now. 2.8, there was no new content. Casino is not new content. That was a gimmick that we were lied to. We were told it was content. It looks like content. It seems like content. But all it really is they changed an area and added a button, copy and pasted the button a bunch of times, and a very, very small two sets of engines. Two different little casino engines. Slot machine engines. That's all it was. It's not content. It was allowing us to somewhat make our own content. And that's where it succeeded. We took those little itty bitty things and we turned it into something. We turned it into trying to get a Rancor. That's not what they did. That's what we did. And so now what they need to do is they need to come out with planets where we can literally make our own stories. And they need to give us the tools to make our own stories. And maybe this new planet, maybe it's where we can drop our companions off. Or maybe we can drop our companions off in our galactic stronghold so we never have to see them on our ship again. And maybe Gus can have a job washing the dishes in my Nar Shaddaa palace. I don't know. But they need to allow us to tell our own stories. You know, give people, this is my blaster. It's unique. There are many like it, but this one's mine. Let people make their own lightsabers. Stop trying to make lightsabers, okay? Just give us all the pieces and let us make our own. If you give us those tools, we'll figure it out. Anyway, this went a lot longer than I thought it would. I hope this was interesting. Let me know what you think. I don't hate TOR. I want to save it. I love TOR. It's an MMO I could see myself playing for the rest of my life. But at the rate it's going, I don't see it lasting another year. Because if the Galactic Strongholds are crap, which they're looking like, we have absolutely nothing about the guild ships. If the new planet's just another Macab, we'll be done with it in 2 weeks. Less. And I don't care about new ops, they're fun, but I mean, honestly, most people are done with ops in a new op in less than 3 weeks or less. Actually, I was reading, some people said they actually can finish a new op on its first week. So you grind the op for a few weeks and you have all the gear you want and there's nothing to do anymore. So, and they said they were going to come out with something new to rival Galactic Starfighter in terms of scale. Because there were supposed to be 2 digital expansions this year. I guess, even though Galactic Starfighter was last year, if they count that as this year, then maybe the other one's Galactic Strongholds. I have no idea. I guess that maybe that's what it's supposed to be. But then 3.0 is supposed to come out this year too. Right at the tail end of the year. So, we have been waiting so long for those. If those fail, I think everybody's going to shut their account off. Because unless BioWare can make us a guarantee, which they can't do because they're pathological liars now, and all their time frames have no basis in reality. But they would have to make us some kind of guarantee that they're going to staff up enough to be able to provide us content more frequently. But it's got to be content that we actually want. And they haven't committed to that yet. Player housing, yes. Guild ships, yes. But we asked for that stuff years ago. Where's my pet Sarlacc monster? I want a freaking pet Sarlacc monster. You know? Let us grow one. Let it get absolutely freaking huge, the size of a small city. Until it takes up a giant chunk of Tatooine. You know... Once 2.8 was a joke, I know I keep saying that. 2.81, we'll find out what it is sometime today, and then it'll get implemented tomorrow. I'll report on that the absolute freaking second I can figure out what it's about. Maybe 2.8.3 is going to be awesome. They have to be able to prove, not lip service, because I'm not going to believe a damn word they say anymore after 2.8 freaking catastrophe. They need to prove to us that they can release content that we want, that tells our story, that's going to keep us entertained and amused every 3 to 4 to 6 weeks. Not every 8 months. Not every 12 months, 14 months. Every 3 to 6 weeks. And I don't just mean new cartel markets, because I don't have the money to buy that stuff. Most people don't. The few people that do, thank you, and I thank Brood all the time. Thank goodness that they have money to spend on this game. Which reminds me, they should just sell credits through the cartel market. Seems like a no-brainer. I mean, doesn't BioWare want that money? It's like freaking printing money. Anyway, They need to show that they can do this. I want Star Wars to succeed. It killed me that Clone Wars shut down. Killed me. I loved that game. I had this little orange droid, and I couldn't do shit with him, but he was my friend, and he was the only droid I could afford, my little pumpkin droid. My little pumpkin astromech. Jack, J4CK. And I'm never going to see that freaking droid again. Thankfully, I have a video of him, I think. I don't want that to happen to TOR. And this... round. Yeah, exactly. This is the book that they need to follow. I keep saying it. Ops are important. Flashpoints are important. The tactical flashpoints are neat. But it's gotta be... That's only... That's only the template. That's only the foundation. That's only a couple of controls and systems that people like to have. You have to be able to, what's called, delight your customers. You have to give them things they don't know that they want. You know, like custom armor. I love custom armor. Everybody loves custom armor. Now, literally make custom pistols and custom blasters and custom hilts. You know. Make this game something that everybody's proud of. To when they say, oh, well, I play WildStar, and you go, F you, I play TOR. TOR is sick, and here's why. And 2 hours later, their jaw's about to fall off because it's been hanging off their face the whole time. Oh, well, I play Elder Scrolls, or I play Final Fantasy. Yeah, well, I can freaking make my own blaster rifle. Okay? There's 7 stances in the game. You can have whatever job you want. Okay, if I want to be a smuggler doing security detail for the next pop star, I can do it. You know, make it a little instance or whatever, where a random thing happens, and you gotta be looking out for what's going on. You know, and it could be 3 different things, and you don't know, and she could get attacked from this angle, or something could... It's just... Or you've got to have a gunfight, you know, and you can't have your companion. You got a gunfight by yourself with no companion. Or you've got to take out a council member with no companion. Thanks. No! Alright. You get the idea. I've got a million ideas. A million. And I'm just worried that we're going to get another seeker probe thing, or another macro binocular thing, which they had the right idea, but horrible implementation. The seeker probe should have been a new companion that just beeped and chirped. And yes, it technically does that now, but this is BS. It's just a tacked on. It's just an icon with a word that some words that flash on your screen. It's not immersive. The macro binoculars are cool, but the implementation's terrible. It needs to be re-implemented. They both need to be re-implemented, refinished, and expose everybody to how awesome those 2 ideas can be. You should have let people decide what they want to do with macro binoculars. Not run them through force them through a cookie cutter quest. Same thing with the Seeker Droid. The Seeker Droid quest was really cool, but being forced to jump through those hoops to do the quest, no. It's just an excuse to rehash everybody through a bunch of planets. You could have had a whole zone of Makeb nothing but the whole Seeker line, nothing but the whole macro binocular line. You're not fooling anybody. Make a good system and let people decide how they want to use it. And all the systems from now on need to be that way, including all the systems that you've made so far. Custom armor. Just let people make any armor into custom armor. Blasters, same thing. Vibro swords, shotguns. If somebody likes the way something looks, it should all be able to be custom. Galactic Starfighter, let people do whatever they want. Take all of the stronghold stuff that you learned and let people redecorate their ships. Go back and undo all of the strangulation that everybody's been having to deal with this whole time. And you know, again, like I said, I could talk about this for 8 more hours, but I've got to end it at some point, and just hope that somebody listens to this and hope that they stop listening to everybody else. Oh, well, it needs more ops. Ops aren't going to save this game. It needs more flashpoints. It's not going to save the game. It needs more PvP. It's not going to save the game. It's going to take a complete mindset change. A complete mindset change. And I'm sorry, I wish my cat wouldn't have chosen right now to bug me again. But I hope everybody can take away something from this. I hope that you're still listening, and I hope that we get good news in the morning, and that 2.8.1 is awesome. And I hope in the next couple weeks, because they promised within by middle of July, or rather, I mean, the implication was, okay, just give me a few more minutes, cat. No, just give me a few more minutes. So I can think. I need to think. No. I need to think. Sorry. The implication was that we'll find something out by the end of June. Then they said no, early July. And remember, it's going to come out like something like the 15th of August, which is less than 45 days away. Ish. Sorry, I got freaking cat hair all over my face because my cat just went goofy. I hope that everything turns out well. You know? I hope that 3.0 is amazing. I hope that it blows our socks off. I hope that we get all of our class stories extended and all of our companion stories extended. And all of our characters that we saw throughout our class stories that we didn't kill off. And if we did kill them off, maybe their brothers, sisters, or parents are going to yell at us. Or I don't know. But I want it to exceed my wildest expectations, because I know my wildest expectations are probably 10 times past almost everybody else's. But it's because I dare to dream. I dare to dream of how awesome this game could be. And all the people bitching about, oh, it just needs more ops. Or it just needs more PvP. It needs that stuff and 1,000 times more. This game should have thousands of people working on it. And right now, it sounds like 5. It sounds like there's 5 people working on it. At least I haven't seen any documentation besides, that there's any more than 5 people working on this right now. There's supposed to be a new team, new people for Galactic Strongholds and stuff, Maybe that's a couple extra people. But there's no way that team can do this stuff. So what I'm going to do, and what I want you guys to do, is play the hell out of everything that they make, and be honest. Be honest with yourself, be honest with your friends, and be honest with the community of what you think about it. If you like it, get on TOR's forums and tell them what you like. If you hate it, tell them that you hate it. Either way, because they need to know. Because right now, the only people screaming in their ears are people that want daily areas, and again, it's fine, but I'm just telling you, people that want ops, that's fine, people that want PvP, and people want the Galactic Starfighter, and people that want flashpoints. I don't know if I already said that. And people that want new planets, and some people that want new class personal missions, but not very many. Some people that want new events. All those things are fine, but all that's doing is just artificially sustaining this. It needs, and some people want new cartel packs and stuff. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with those things. But that's only status quo. We need to blow that out of the water. So when we hear about 2.8.1 tomorrow, get on it. Figure out what you want to do. Try everything, even if you don't think you'll like it. If you haven't tried Galactic Starfighter, try it. I'll help you. If you haven't tried PvP, try it. I'll help you. If you can't figure out flashpoints, don't know how to gear for it, I'll help you. I saw somebody running around the other day trying to do hard modes with completely the wrong gear on. They had strength gear and shield stuff, even though it was completely wrong. They were like a shadow or something, and they had, it's just, if you need help, just ask, and you can ask me. I answer people's questions all the time. You already know all my characters' names, and doesn't stop people. Try everything that Star Wars TOR has. And every single time there's new stuff, try it all. Even if you don't think you'll like it. If you haven't been to Zerka, or Black Hole, or Oricon, go try it. If you don't get it, I'll help you. If you haven't been to Makeb and you need help with Makeb, just let me know. If you're on Begrin. Even if you're not on Begrin, ask me and I'll try to answer your question. But don't give up on this game yet. I know it's been a long time for content, but don't give up on it yet. It's a little too soon. And what I'm going to do, and my promise to you guys, is that I'm going to be as fair and honest as I possibly can, and I'm going to show you every single piece of content I possibly can, which is what I've been doing. And all I ask is that you guys be fair and don't quit on it yet. Because even though it needs a million things to right itself, they have this chance, this very real chance, that they might be able to pull it off. And so what we can do is give them our support. And when they do a couple things right, we give them a couple more things to do. And say, you did that, and we like that. Here's how you can make it better. And then if they keep deciding to do the opposite, if they keep deciding that they think their own ideas are better, then we've got the moral high ground. Then we have leverage. Okay? If we think they're catering too much to the free-to-players, then we need to have more subscribers. Okay? That's all there is to it. So if you're not subscribing, subscribe. If your friends aren't subscribing, tell them to subscribe. Stop being free-to-players if you don't like how free-to-players are getting treated. If you want to be a subscriber, tell them why you're not a subscriber. Okay, if you have questions about being a subscriber, just ask. And hopefully in a year we'll still have this game. And someday maybe our kids will be able to enjoy this game. Make this be the Star Wars MMO that doesn't get canceled. I don't know if there's going to be another Star Wars game after this. I sure as hell don't want Disney to make it. They're idiots. They have no idea how to make a video game. Their little card battle adventure game was cute, but you hit a friggin' paywall. Tiny Death Star's cute, but she hit a paywall. And don't get me started on their version of Galactic Starfighter. We don't want to lose this MMO, you guys. And I know there's a lot of people that watch my channel, and I know they're a lot different people than who gets on the forum, and I know you don't want to get on the forums. I don't like getting on the forums either, but if you guys want something, the vocal minority for each of the other areas is going to strip away everything that you want to get what they want because of the limited resources. If you want any of these things, or if you want something else, you need to get on the forum and tell them. When they make something right, you tell them. When they make something wrong, you tell them. But be fair to all the other people that want their stuff too. We all need to get our stuff made. So if something PvP gets made, don't freak out. If an op gets made, don't freak out. They should all get their stuff too. We should all get our stuff made. There should be enough employees to make everything that all of us want. So, anyway, that's all I got. My head's killing me. I feel really sick. And just, I hope this doesn't fall on deaf ears. I'm not playing another MMO after this. This is my last one. And I don't want to see it go under. Like I said, it killed me that Clone Wars went under. I loved that game. And SWG, I know a lot of people loved that game. But there's no more Clone Wars, and there's no more SWG. So let's make sure we don't lose TOR. Alright, thanks you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.